Danse, bonjour, hello. My name is Miracle Campeau. My spirit name is Strong Heart Woman. I can consider two-spirit being. My pronouns are she, they. My family ties from Sapatoyak, Easterville, OCN, and on my mother's side, mostly from Saskatchewan reserves. On my father's side, the Campeau family, we do have quite a few residential survivors, including my grandfather. My grandfather, though, he still very much upholds a lot of the traditions and holds small ceremonies for our family and such. I do poetry for an occupation, and most of my poetry does focus center on Indigenous problems, including missing bird Indigenous women, or just stories that I hear from other Indigenous beings, either friends, families, or just stories in general that hit close to home for me. When I was working at the Dauphin Co-op, it sort of started off slow in terms of me being comfortable with sharing my culture. One of my managers, who started around a month after I did, Thomas Starr, was Ojibwe. We definitely bounced off one another, I'd want to say, and just he made me feel a whole lot more confident in being who I am. So slowly, I think I came up with the idea to start Cree Word of the Day. So in my workplace, every morning we'd start a meeting where by the end of it I would share a word, sometimes a story, sometimes even just share if it was an important day in Indigenous history or just in our communities in general. Sometimes we just expand on that, or sometimes they'd ask me questions and it'd become a whole lesson, which I was always happy to do. I absolutely love it when people ask me questions and such. But it was a slow process at first, and then eventually expanded into something that everyone was so excited to hear, so much so that even other departments at the co-op were actually coming up to me while I was working, asking me what the word of the day is. So that definitely warmed my heart. Everyone had their kind of own favorite words. We started off pretty simple, where we just gave like words that I would say during the day, just randomly. So like tanse, tanese, or tansegia. We did a few funny words. One of my managers really liked the word awas, which means go away. But one word that I really like, and I think a lot of my coworkers like too, because it's in so much of our words, because it's just a word to describe most of everything in the sky, pisum, which means the sun. So that was a word that we use a lot because I like to associate that with having a happy day. And just never feel like you're not welcome in our communities. A lot of people think that they're not allowed to be in certain ceremonies, such as powwows. A lot of people don't think that they're allowed in powwows, but you are. All people are allowed in a powwow, and there's even a dance that's dedicated to all people. But just as long as you have that purity in your heart, that spirit that you want to be part of reconciliation, that's in itself is such a strong and powerful thing. And as long as you just have that mindset, your open heart and compassion, and understanding that a lot of people are still grieving even to this very day, that a lot of our communities are still hurt, just patience and understanding, compassion, that's really all we ask for. And just never be afraid to be who you are, and